the best anime of all time that is on no one's list, no one's top 3 list, I guarantee you, is Gungrave. It is on my top 3 list. And yes, Yasuhiro Naitao signed this, and you can see it's crinkled and the lettering got all messed up because I hugged it after he signed it because I couldn't believe that he signed it. But this anime, if you have not seen it, and I feel like for some reason most people have not, you are sleeping on one of the best stories about brotherhood, one of the best stories about descending into evil and not being able to turn back, one of the best stories about forgiveness of oneself and forgiveness of those who have wronged you. And it is an absolutely beautiful tale, and nobody talks about it. So if anybody wants to talk about it, you're in the right place. And if you don't know it, I'm going to tell you why you should. So first of all, the anime is based off of a video game. It is a PS2 video game. And the anime is quite a departure, actually, from the PS2 video game. The PS2 video game has, it's got big weapons and crazy monsters. And there is a loose plot, but the anime goes so much deeper. And you get the protagonist, Brandon Heat, his best friend / adversary, Harry MacDowell, and you learn how they became bonded, how they both descended into evil and both became cruel, awful humans in completely different ways. And then you see what happens between the two of them when they go to war. And it is absolutely thrilling. So I'm going to go into spoiler territory here a little bit. So if you want to go watch. And if you haven't watched, go watch. Because like I said, this is one of the best anime of all time. If you have watched, I am going to go into spoilers a little bit here. And what I think makes this anime stand out more than anything is that you become so attached to Brandon and Harry because you get to see them at their innocence, right? We have Brandon, he obviously deals with some sort of social anxiety. He doesn't speak very much. He's obviously very codependent with Harry, and Harry's very codependent with Brandon. We later find out that they were orphans and that they were basically getting beaten in this orphanage and treated really badly. And so now when we get introduced to them, they're teenagers, and they're kind of like these rough, boys on the wrong side of the tracks, and they steal TVs and they trick people out of their money. And you're kind of just like, those rascals. But they're not, you can see that they're teetering on being evil, right? But they haven't fallen over yet, right? You're like, okay, maybe they shouldn't be doing this stuff, but you still kind of feel for them. And then that all changes dramatically when they upset a rival gang, and the leader of that rival gang ends up being having a brother who was in the mafia. And I love the beginning of the show because we see there's just all this tension, right? One of the members of Harry and Brandon's gang steals jewelry from someone he shouldn't have, and now Harry needs to get them out of that situation. And you kind of see how Harry is the intellectual, cerebral leader of this group, even though he's very much street smart. So he's not cerebral. He's very much He's got riz, and he's charismatic, and he knows how to talk himself out of things, and he's smart, but he's street smart, right? And then we have Brandon, who I think is very intuitive, but he's physical. He is strong, he is loyal, he is there for his friends no matter what. And you're just kind of this dynamic between the two is just so interesting because they're so different, but they're so codependent and they're so linked. And that they're strong together. That is the part that's kind of scary. Maybe that's why they're so codependent, is that they shouldn't be apart You know, like there's just some sort of magnetism that like they should be together, right? So anyway, yeah, in the beginning, they're dealing with this like jewelry heist situation. All the while, big brother of the rival gang who is in the mafia is looking for them. And like I said, like in the beginning, at this point, they're just like dumb boys, you know? And they've seen trauma, right? Like they obviously lost their parents and they were raised in an orphanage and they were treated really badly, and they've probably seen some stuff on the streets that has been pretty awful. But like things take a really dark turn once this older brother gets involved. And oh man, we didn't even get into Maria. Maria is like Brandon's love interest. He like loves her. She's like the sweetest, kindest girl ever. And you find out her adopted father used to be like a baddie in the mafia, right? Like he's like an old man and you're like sleeping on him, and then you're like, oh, this guy could ball. Like you're like, oh dang, like this guy could ball, right? So anyway, what happens is we're gonna fast forwards a lot, and like I'm probably skipping through a lot here, but basically we get this like intersection. It is like the perfect writing. It's just like this crazy intersection where you have Brandon and Harry. And literally this, the big brother of the rival gang, he literally is unaliving Brandon and Harry's friends right in front of them. Like their closest friends. Like I'm getting like emotional thinking about it. Like they're like these boys that they were raised with and like had this like gang with, and they're just getting unalived in front of them. And there's like literally this scene where Brandon and Harry's eyes are just so lifeless. It's like there's nothing there, because it's like they've seen so much has been taken away from them in that moment that there's like nothing there, right? And they get saved literally by Maria's dad, adopted dad, and Bear Walken comes through. Who Bear Walken, we're talking about Harry's Riz. Bear Walken's Riz is on a whole different level. It's like kind of interesting because like he's a strong silent type like Brandon, and we definitely like throughout the show see like Brandon get very, very attached to Bear. And I think that it's interesting because that there is this similarities between them, right? But like I think Bear Walken, while he is super loyal to Millennium, which is the overarching organization for the mafia, he also like has a lot of self-respect though. I think that like he is like, hey, I need to make sure I can provide for myself and for my family. He lays down boundaries a lot better than we see Brandon. Brandon like he gives everybody around him everything, and he does not understand the word boundaries. Like he just like lets people take advantage of him, and he literally thinks, oh, well, but I care about these people. I love them. So I'm just gonna do whatever I need to do to make them happy, and literally compromises his own happiness. And then it compromises other people's happiness. So I think I always had a lot more respect for Bear. And mind you, I love Brandon, but I think like Brandon's got some weaknesses, right? But I always like really liked Bear because I felt like Bear was respect me, okay? And respect my family, but then still strong and silent type, right? Okay, sorry, we kind of went off on a Bear Walken tangent there. But yeah, so anyway, we see these two young men like lose everything in this moment. And basically, Maria, you know, she loses her father, she loses some of her friends, and then Bear Walken's like, I'll take you in, like we're gonna take you in to meet Big Daddy, you know? And these boys, Harry, more than Brandon, to be honest, Harry sees an opportunity. And he's like, what do I have left here? And I think Harry is also intrigued by how powerful the mafia is. And this is one thing we see with Harry throughout the entire show, is that he's always attracted to power, and he always sees something that's like bigger or brighter than him, and he like needs to get on that level and surpass. Like, and it's crazy. Like, the hunger of Harry is like one of the best parts of this show. It's like, you're just like, the guy's relentless. Like he sees someone higher than, he's a little bit like, if you guys have ever seen American Psycho, he's got that Patrick Bateman thing to him where it's like, he is psychotic if someone is doing better than him in like any way. And it's like scary, but you low-key got to respect the guy because you're just like, bro, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? Like, just chill. But I think because of Harry, the way Harry was raised, he's just a taker. He had nothing giving to him. So when he can take, he takes, and he takes until he rises to the top. And one of the people he takes from the most is Brandon. He takes the most from his best friend. And the crazy thing is he's such a narcissist that he literally thinks he's helping Brandon the whole time he's taking from him. Because like the one thing you see from Harry is his whole de-evolution. Like it's like you see the wheels start to fall off on Harry, right? Towards the end of the show. And it's crazy because like he literally, I think some people might say that Harry is at fault for Brandon's demise, but I think when we see Brandon and him separate, right? Like, because basically they hop into the limo with the mafia guys and then they get divided, right? And we see Harry kind of like learns from people the more like intellectual, cerebral, fiscal, financial side of the mafia. And then we see like Brandon learns more of the like rough and tough, like beating them up for money. And like, he's more of the heat. Brandon Heat, get it? Oh my God. I just put that together. Anyway. But yeah, like I'm sure that is why he's named that. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just coincidental. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, like I think what is so beautiful about this story is that you see both of them descend deeper and deeper into evil in completely different ways, where you see that literally Brandon has no respect for himself, that he literally, one of my favorite episodes is when Bear meets his best friend. And one of the best themes of Gungrave is all of the brotherhood themes. Everybody's got a brother. Everyone's got like their bestie, right? Like, oh my God, let me pull up like the cast really quick. Because like we could literally play a game where we like link everybody to like who their buddy is, right? Okay, so I'm like, I can't remember what Bear Walken's, hold on. I love that I'm just like yapping and I'm just gonna post this, but you know, that's how it be sometimes. Oh man, you know what? And this is the sad thing, like Gungrave is so like forgotten. Like there's not even that many, I can't even really find all the stuff. Like Ballad Bird Lee and Bob Pound Max are definitely like one duo for sure. You know, I just realized like Bungie never really has a duo. Like though I low-key like Brandon and Bungie were duos, and I think that there is a lot of like jealousy with Bungie and Harry. Like they kind of have some weird like friendship triangle going on. Oh my gosh. And then there's Canon Vulcan. Oh my gosh, what is the name of his dude? Somebody in the comments is gonna have to tell me. Blood War. Yeah, and that's like another thing I loved about this anime was that like everybody had like their best friend duo, right? And you saw like how these duos like uplifted each other, but they also like kind of were like bad for each other too, you know? Which is just reality. Like that's how humans are. So yeah. Anyway, I'm like totally going off on all these different tangents. I've been talking for like 15 minutes now. We haven't even gotten to where Harry completely becomes unhinged. And I think it's because it's kind of, to be honest, it's kind of shocking to me that Brandon doesn't have like this unhinged moment, because like he literally, Maria's in love with him. Maria has always been in love with him, but then he refuses to love her back, even though we know he adores her and he like loves her more than anything or anyone, like more than Harry, more than anything. But he loves her so much that he like, and he loves his friend so much. He loves Big Daddy so much. He's like, listen, like you guys should be together. Like, screw me, dude. Like you guys should be together. And I literally remember when I was watching the show and I was like, shut up, Brandon. Like, do not do this. Don't you dare. Like, do not ruin Maria's life like this. Like, she loves you. She loves you. And it was like, he just literally hates himself so much and sees himself as being so unworthy of love in any way possible that he can't even like tick her love. Like he has to like push it off on someone else. And it's just like, it's so disturbing. It is so disturbing and sad. And I think like what's almost the saddest part is that like in death is when he realizes like, hey, maybe I should be doing things for myself. Like maybe I should be like standing up to Harry and like not letting him like destroy everything. And maybe like I can have a friend and be like loyal to someone, you know, like with Mika. And I'm not like, some people like, no, no. Don't even say it in the comments. Like, I don't want to see it. Like, Mika is a daughter to him. Okay. Like she is like the daughter that I think he wanted with Maria, but obviously she's Big Daddy and Maria is daughter. Right. But like, it's just like sad that like in death, he gets a taste of what he should have had during his life. We haven't even talked about his death. Oh my God. The ultimate betrayal in anime. Like literally, Brandon does everything in his power to see Harry rise to the top. He does everything in his power to protect this man, to fight for him. And then when we see Harry again has this inkling to always be in power and always push things, he's always got to push things too far. He literally, sorry, it's like getting me emotional. Think about it. He unalives his best friend. Like Harry unalives the guy who was there for him through everything because he's like so greedy for power and he sees that his friend could potentially, and I don't like, this is the thing. I think that Harry thought Brandon was going to get in his way from taking over Millennium. And I don't even know if that would have happened. I think like Brandon was super divided. Like Brandon was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I think he might have sided with Big Daddy in the end. And I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments, but I don't think he knew. Like, I think he saw Harry was like starting to create this division and then he was like struggling to figure out what to do. But then it was like, Harry was like, nah, you in my way, you're out. Even if you were my best friend, even if you were my ride or die since we were like 5 years old, you are out. And the way that he ticks out Brandon and that elevator scene, beautiful. Why isn't anyone talking about this anime? Like, everything I'm talking about right now. Like, I'm just like, why do people not talk about this anime, right? And then, like, this, I think if anybody could argue the weaker parts of this anime are potentially around the third act, where I think it's trying to pay homage to the video game. And we see him, like, kind of ticking out Ballad Bird Lee and Bear Walkin' and Pound Max, just like he does in the video game. I kind of wish that, like, they had some more moments of, like, where, you know, like Bob and Brandon might have been like, hey, like, I can't, like, I don't want to do this to you, dude. Like, I wish there was a little bit more emotionality. I think the battle with Bear Walkin', you really feel it. Cause I feel like Bear Walkin' is like, I'm defending my daughter now, dude. Like, you're coming for my daughter's husband. Like, now, like, we aren't messing around now, right? But like, I do feel like there can be some critiques there. But really it still flows great. And if you're like me, I just like seeing like crazy weaponry and big fights and monsters and seeing like Ballad Bird Lee and Bob Pound Max turn into like the crazy things they turn into in Bear Walkin'. Like, it was still really, really fun. And then the ending. Man, I'm like, I'm gonna get emotional talking about the end for sure. Like, whoever created this visually, having it flash back, basically like we're in the ending and Brandon confronts Harry and they're literally flashing back and forth in the past. Like, it's like teenager Brandon and Harry talking, then like in their 20s, Brandon and Harry talking, and then in their 30s and their 40s, and you see like they're like yelling at each other through every era of their friendship. And it is just gutting you because you see like how they've changed, right? Like you see like them getting more twisted and more sad and more like demented through like going through each era, and like that loss of innocence through like each part of their life, you know? And now they're here, and it's like this show, I saw a lot of comparisons to Berserk. And I know in Berserk, everybody wanted everybody, like, allegedly, I don't, but everybody wants, like, guts to unalive Griffith, right? Brutally. And I do think Berserk is a little different because that's a whole nother video, to be honest. I ain't even get into that. But I think here, like, Brandon realizes that, like, Harry is still the Harry he knew and loved at his core. And I think it's kind of like that while they're going through all the different eras of their life, like, he still sees that young, hopeful, rambunctious Harry still in that hardened, like, awful, power-hungry Harry, right? And so he forgives him. And I think, like, you also see them forgive themselves. Like, Harry's like, do it. Like, take me, dude. Like, I deserve to be taken. And, like, Brandon's like, no, like, why? Like, you're my friend. Like, I still see my friend in there, right? And I think, like, Harry is so, like, I think even disgusted with himself, hates himself so much at this point. He's like, take me, dude. Like, take me. And Brandon's like, no, because, like, I messed up too. Like, I should have, and who knows, this is all unspoken, right? This is all what's going on in my head. I think Brandon's like, I should have been there for you. I should have set down boundaries. I should have gone through things. Like, we both messed up in life. So why, like, in this moment when we're both gonna not make it here, like, why, like, there's no point to revenge and hatred. Like, I think that is, like, the best part of Gungrave is, like, they literally are, like, on the precipice of getting revenge, right? Like, Harry can, or Brandon can get revenge, but it's like, what is that gonna do? Like, he's finally face to face with his friend, and, like, one of the best moments is when they finally get face to face and they're, like, staring. They have the stare down and they have their, like, you know, I can't say, and they just start laughing. And it's like, it's kind of like, dude, I'm just happy to be here with you, man. Like, it's been too long. And I think that's, like, the beauty of it is, like, there's just, like, their bond is so strong and they still see the goodness in each other, like, in those final moments. And, like, yeah, they've done so many wrong things to each other, but, like, they have empathy and forgiveness for each other. And I think that's what makes it one of the best anime of all time. And I think it's, like, crazy because it's like you see how dark and demented and how, like, far they fall. And in the end, like, it's kind of like everything falls apart on them, but at least, like, they have each other's forgiveness, right? And that's beautiful. All right, I've talked for 20 minutes. Let me know if I forgot anything and I'll do a part 2. But Gungrave, baby, should be the top of your list for best anime of all time.